So, good afternoon everyone. My name is Jipper Jade Bungado. In this afternoon, we will tackle about the fundamentals of polygraphy. So, at the end of this chapter, the student will be able to explain the concept and theory of polygraph examination. Paraphrase the function of the central nervous system in relation to deception, detection, and demonstrate the parts of the polygraph and its function. This chapter presents the development of the polygraph instrument. It includes the different personalities who studied deception, detection, and which eventually led to the conception of polygraph. The types of polygraphs as well as their various components are also thoroughly discussed. Besides, the topic on the nervous system and its connection to the use of the polygraph is one of the highlights of this chapter. To serve as a background, the subject on the psychology of lying is likewise included. So, what do you mean by polygraph? So, the word polygraph is a combination of two Greek words, poly, which means many, and graph, which means writing a chart. Operationally, it is defined as an instrument specially designed to record psychophysiological changes that occur within the body of a person, especially when he is lying. Although modern polygraphs are now designed to detect several changes, most conventional polygraphs are capable of recording the following. So first, blood pressure and pulse rate. Second is respiration. So respiration is the process of breathing where oxygen is taken and carbon dioxide is expelled by organism to generate energy. And next is the perspiration or galvanic skin resistance. So perspiration is the release of fluid from sweat glands to regulate body temperature. And galvanic skin resistance measures changes in skin conductivity due to emotional arousal or stress. The advent of computerized or digital polygraphs also ensured that aside from the above bodily changes recorded by analog polygraphs, the following are also detected by these modern instruments. Thigh muscle tension. Second is arm, shoulder muscle tensions. Third and feet movements. In polygraph, there are 5 definitions of terms. First, deception. It is an act of deceiving or misleading usually accomplished by lying. Second, lying. It is the uttering or conveying of falsehood or creating a false impression with the intention of affecting the acts. Third, detection. The act of discovering the existence or presence of fact or something hidden or obscure. Fourth, emotion. In psychology, it signifies a reaction involving certain physiological changes, such as an accelerated or retarded pulse rate, the admonish. And the last one is fear. Fear is the emotional reaction to perceived dangers beyond one's control. When someone lies, they fear being caught. Using psychological changes detectable by a polygraph machine. So, for example, increased heart rate or sweat. Personalities in the development of deception, detection, and polygraph. The field of detecting deception did not evolve overnight, nor the idea of only one person. These studies were used as the basis by other persons to develop the polygraph instrument. So first, Leonard Keeler. He developed the metal recording bellows in 1926. He also incorporated the chemograph and the rolled chart paper. He used this development together with the cardio and pneumo components, developing the first polygraph instrument known today. Furthermore, he is also known as the father of polygraph. He devised the first structured test questions. The test is made up using relevant questions interspersed with irrelevant questions, the R and I test. Second, George Sticker. In 1897, he was one of the first to suggest the use of the galvanic skin response ADE as an indicator of deception. Third, Otto Viragut. He was the first to make word association tests using the galvanometer. The galvanometer was used to detect deception because of its ability to measure emotional disturbances. Fourth is John Reed. He used Killer's technique, and after testing numerous subjects, he found that in using the technique, he was getting to many inconclusive results and at an acceptable error rate. Likewise, he developed a structured method using comparison questions. Fifth is Dick Arthur. He operated the National School of Lie Detection and developed his known lie, probable lie question technique and guilt complex question. 6. Mosso. Mosso is an Italian scientist who in 1895 theorized that when in emotional stress or tension, blood would rush to the head. He built a delicately balanced board with a center fulcrum. The person lying on his board was placed under stress and blood would rush to his head, causing the board to tilt down at the head. 7. Cesar Lombroso. Cesar Lombroso, in 1895, he used measurements of blood pressure changes during interrogations using a water pressure apparatus. This water pressure apparatus is known today as hydrosphygmograph. 8. Dr. William Marston. He established in 1915 the relevance of blood pressure changes in the systolic blood pressure. 9. Dr. John Larson. He developed the first instrument to record simultaneously a person's blood pressure, pulse rate, and respiration changes. This is the first polygraph machine suitable for use in criminal investigation. So the last one, Luigi Galvani. He was accorded the distinction for developing the galvanic skin reflex or the galvanometer, which means records electrical bodily resistance regarding ohms, the lower current ever recorded. The GSR reflected emotional changes by measuring changes in person's skin resistance to electricity. There are four major components of the analog polygraph. First, cardiograph or cardiosphygmograph records blood pressure and pulse rate changes. It consists of a blood pressure cuff, sphygmomanometer, vent, resonance control, and recording unit. The cuff inflates, sending pressure changes to the recording unit via hose. The sphygmomanometer measures air pressure. Resonance control adjusts pressure to the tambour unit. Affecting pin exertions, a centering control aligns the tracing with guidelines. The recording unit charts pulse rate and blood pressure with 5-inch pin on paper. Second, the galvanograph. The galvanograph measures skin resistance using minimal electricity. It comprises a finger electrodes assembly, amplifier unit, and recording unit. The finger electrode connects the subject to the device. Measuring skin resistance, the amplifier powers the galvanometer, which converts electrical signals to mechanical movement of a recording pin. Its role is to detect, amplify, and record changes in skin resistance on a chart. Third, the pneumograph records subject breathing changes. It includes a pneumograph assembly with a rubber corrugated tube attached to the subject's chest. This tube expands and contrasts with breathing, transmitting chest volume changes to the recording unit. The recording unit comprises a frame, brass bellows, crankshaft, and pin cradle, which record chest movements on chart paper. The fourth, or the last one, the chemograph. So the chemograph In analog, polygraph moves chart paper at a steady rate of 6 or 12 inches per minute. It ensures uniform speed for accurate interpretation, featuring paper guide rails, roller assembly, and a synchronous motor. The chart paper is typically 100 feet long and 6 inches wide, with markings for time intervals and pulse rate calculation. So, those are the components work together to measure and record physiological responses such as changes in blood pressure, pulse rate, skin resistance, and breathing patterns. The recorded data is the recorded data is then analyzed by trained examiner to detect patterns associated with deception or stress. So that's all for today. I hope you've learned something, and thank you so much, and God bless you all.
Good evening, sir. I'm Mr. Bidaho, and I'm going to continue the report about the polygraph basics. So let's continue. Other parts of the analog polygraph machine is actually na 23 other parts sa polygraph machine. And the first part is the pen lifter. So what is pen lifter? Um, Raises the lower pens to three positions. So kani daw pen lifter kay raises the lower pens to three positions. Muna siya. Second part is pacer. Program pacer, programmable queuing device for questioning and answer pacing. Paper tier bar, which is the third part, um, provides cutting edge for convenient removal of charts. And the fourth part is the foam pen hold down, keeps pens in place when the instrument is being transported. And the fifth part is the compartment, which is that the compartment storage for all forms and supplies is slightly smaller in executive ultra scribe. Subject connections is the stylish grouping provide neat professional appearance, facilities, setup, and storage. The seventh part is the mechanical pneumo module. The mechanical pneumo module is the recording part of mechanical pneumo channel, money function. And then the eighth part is the galvanic skin response module. And iyang function is that recording siya part of GSR channel. Okay. And the ninth part is the mechanical cardio module. So the mechanical cardio module is ang iyang function is the recording part of the mechanical cardio module. And then the 10th part kay kuan paper storage compartment. Um, Holds two rolls or of character ay, of paper or other supplies. The 11th part is the AC power receptacle. Power cords connect here international standard design for easy cord replacement. Muna siya. The 12th part is the power switch and circuit breaker. And then yung function is applies power to the instrument built in resettable circuit breaker protects instrument and eliminate the need for fuses to reset. The 13th part is the chart drive roller lever. So ang iyang function kay simple press off and then on again lift chart drive roller for paper changes and chart removal. And the 14th part of polygraph is power analysis. Power analyzer automatically indicates whether wall outlets are properly wired and grounded for proper instrument operation and subject safely. So, mano yung function. And then, ang 15th part is the stimulus marker. Ang iyang function pod kay marks significant events on the chart. And then, the 16th part is the sphygmomanometer dial. Sphygmomanometer dial. Young part is reads operating pressure of cardio channels. So manya part. And then the 17th is the pneumo one. The pneumo one is the pneumatic connection for upper thoracic pneumograph. And the 18th part is the pneumo 2. Yeah, as in literal 2, number 2 is pneumatic connection for lower abdominal pneumograph. And the 19th part is the cuff, pneumatic connection for cardio channel subject cuff tubing. And the last part of the other parts of the polygraph is pump. The pump is its function is pneumatic connection for hand pump used to inflate the subject cuff. So those are the other parts of the polygraph. Okay, so let's move on the other part of the report. So the next part is the types of polygraph. So there are three types of polygraph. The first one is the control question test or the CQT, and the second one is the guilty knowledge test or the GKT, and then I the third one is the concealed information test or the CIT, and neuroscience based advanced polygraph tests. So those are the parts of polygraph. So into the next part of the report, which is the general uses of polygraph. So general uses of polygraph is the ano siya, tests are used to detect truthfulness of individuals in such important fields as crime investigation departments, national security agencies, and business and industry. However, accuracy of polygraph tests, ethical issues associated with the test are highly debated. Okay, into the next part of the report. So, um, theory of polygraph examination. So, dari na po tayo. Polygraph theory assumes that lying involves physiological changes due to a fear of detection. The polygraph examination consists of three phases: pre-test, interview, and testing. And the post-test, which may be an interrogation if the test which may be an interrogation if the test results to warrant. So ang polygraph theory daw ano siya, there's a lot of ano physiological changes due to fear of detection. Sometimes ang polygraph test man gud daw is that dili siya accurate. That's why dili daw siya dili daw siya ano kani dili siya ano ginasaligan in terms of court hearings nana bitaw. It's only part of investigation lang ang polygraph muna siya. Okay. On to the next part of the report. The okay. The psychology of lying. The psychology of lying involves many reasons why people may lie, including avoiding situations, avoiding conflict, protecting themselves, gaining personal benefits, making themselves look better, and avoiding punishments. And so on. There's a lot of things that includes when it comes to lying. Lying can have negative consequences, including cognitive depletion, increased risk of punishment, threatening, threatening self-worth, and eroding trust in society. Some signs that someone may be lying include being vague, repeating questions before answering them, speaking in sentence fragments, and grooming behavior such as playing with hair and pressing finger to lips. So, muna siya. When it comes to psychology of lying, daghang kita we people can benefit a lot of it, especially o magbinakakta it's either in a good side or in a bad side. It's either para sa lain or nag-lie ka para sa imong kagalingon. And then to the last part of my report, the nervous system. Okay. Unsay kalabutan sa nervous system sa basic sa polygraph? Okay, let me explain. A polygraph instrument monitors the autonomic nervous system, or the ANS, by recording changes in the body's physiological process such as respiration, heart, heart rate, blood pressure, and sweat gland activity. These processes reflect the arousal of the ANS. So, kani daw ANS daw, kon daw siya, it processes and reflect daw when it comes to polygraph test. Dari daw sila generally makakuha og kuan mga kuan bitaw kaning mga dili bitaw kontrolado nga kuan sa tawo, lihok or iyang reflexes due to lying. Okay. The sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems control cardiovascular activity. The sympathetic nervous system speeds up in the heart and increases blood pressure, while the parasympathetic nervous system slows the heart and lowers blood pressure. When someone responds to deception and lowers blood pressure, the sympathetic nervous system becomes aroused and the parasympathetic nervous system takes over to regain control, resulting in a sudden return to normal. So, mao na siya ang effect or kalabutan sa nervous system when it comes to polygraph test. And that's all for my report. Thank you.